lowering the calories, and we're really going into a fat burning phase. And I'm going to go back and forth, so forgive me. But anyway, so on this day, which a lot of bodybuilders follow programs like this for extended period of time, and my uncle Elroy, who was a bodybuilder, I always go to him for advice and pick his brain with regard to how to get lean, and he always gives me the same advice. I use it for a little while because it works until it doesn't. And so I've got Roy here, who's my uncle, and also I did a little research, and most of that information comes from, like, I think it's Steve Perillo, some of the older bodybuilding type coaches that got incredible results on low-fat, low-carb diets, where they would then cycle in some carbohydrates on other days. But that's not the point. The point here is that we're totally going into a catabolic state so that we can burn more fat. Adrenal hormones for energy, that's basically the major, that and corticoids, glucocorticoids, these are the hormones that are being secreted during this phase in order to allow that extra fat burning to take place. Now this day is, let me get out another pen, this is just like our signature day. I would say between this switch day and this fasting day, most of the craziness is going on. But this day, or these 2 days, it's pretty incredible, because what we do is we go from a complete catabolic state and flip this switch big time with growth hormone, insulin-like growth factor, IGF-1. Again, like I said, check these resources, look into what I'm describing. I don't totally understand the science, I gotta be honest. But after reading this book, it shed a lot of light on the different diets that I've been using and why they work and what the hormones are doing. So check that out. So what happens is during the weekend, and I say weekend because, well, heck, I don't want to diet on the weekend. On the weekend, we essentially reload or cheat. I think another one of the guys that I got this idea from was Joel Marion with his Cheat Your Way Thin diet. You can check that out. He talks a lot about the hormones in that book as well. But anyway, stray cats. Shut up, I'm filming. Anyway, that's what I get for having a gym in a warehouse. Just random cats all over the place in heat. So on this day, our reloaded day, we named the program Lean Hybrid Muscle Reloaded because something magical happens when you've gone from really depleting your carbohydrates, because that's what we're doing most of the time here, and then just loading the sucker back up. We're really having no carbs pretty much on these days. And on the fast day, when you do break fast after that 24 hours, you want to add like a sweet potato in there or something just to keep you alive. But for the most part, this is all low carb. And then on the weekend, it's just all pancakes and brown rice and fruit and stuff like that. I found that giving myself 2 days to do that does two things. It gets it out of my system because I'm kind of starving after these few days. I don't feel malnourished because I'm getting a lot of what I need with the fat here and the protein here, but I start feeling flat. And I found that one cheat day, when I say cheat day, I don't necessarily mean that I'm eating candy and cookies and cupcakes and, women and children food, the birthday cake food for 4-year-olds at their roller skate rink parties. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here is just carbing up big time. So, like I said, pancakes, potatoes, sweet potatoes, brown rice, oatmeal, every 3 hours or so. You should be eating during the weekend. And that, like I said, that flips on a crazy anabolic switch with insulin growth factor 1, which is a crazy ass hormone. I don't totally understand how it works. Check out Ori Hofmeckler's book to really understand it. And I think I've done enough talking for today. How are you going to implement this? I'll give you a few tips, and you can write your own program. Basically, you're eating every 3 hours on the days that you are eating. So the low carb, so you'd end up having like eggs, whole eggs for one meal. I like to take roast beef and cheese and roll it up and have it for a couple other meals. Turkey and cheese, roll it up, other meals. What are some of my other favorite meals? My wife cooks dinner because I'm a lucky dude, so I'll eat like whole chickens. Just like I love the dark meat, especially. Like I said, you want to include cod liver oil as a supplement throughout all of these, or fish oil, but I like cod liver oil because of the high vitamin A and vitamin D content, which are really, it's the vitamin A and D that are the precursors to the testosterone. It isn't the omega-3 fatty acids, interestingly enough. And something called growth factor, or the X factor, according to Dr. Weston A. Price. Look up some of what Weston Price's stuff, Sally Fallon, some of her books, really explains what happens with the hormones when you eat fatty foods. It's incredible stuff most people don't know about. Butter. On this day, it's a great day because you don't have to think about a goddamn thing. You just don't eat. So what happens is your last meal on Tuesday, say at 6 p.m., you don't eat again until 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Thursday, you start doing egg whites and turkey. These 2 days, in my opinion, suck. But they're great because, like I said before, you're not going too long like this. You're not going weeks like this because you're going to end up reloading on the weekend. So egg whites, turkey, just like salads, chicken breast, all that dry nastiness. I really hate these days, but those are the days where the fat is really burning at its best. So we've got that going on. Reload on the reloaded days, same exact thing. Every 2 to 3 hours, take in best foods, are like I described earlier, and bananas work wonders. Green apples work wonders. Fruit. If by Sunday, so Saturday you're pigging out, if by Sunday you start feeling there, you want to sort of, depending on how much fat you're carrying, you're going to feel one of 2 ways. You're either going to still feel flat, like you had been on these 2 days. Basically, your muscles don't feel pumped. You feel like kind of weak. On Sunday, if you still feel that way, continue with the reloaded eating. Continue to eat lots of carbohydrates, low fat. If you already feel pumped, you feel swollen, little trick and an insight into some of the pictures that I've taken, those are on these days. During the rest of the week, I don't always look like that, like how I look in those pictures, because I feel swollen. What happens is like all the water byproduct from the breakdown of the carbohydrates. If you remember chemistry class from a kid, like when you're in high school, H2O is a byproduct of the breakdown of carbohydrates. CHON, Chon. I think that's the right, or is that protein? Never mind. Anyway, water is a byproduct of the breakdown of carbohydrates. And anyway, it gets into your tissue, and it makes you feel swollen. You feel big. You feel like a freaking bodybuilder. In fact, you even feel hot because there's so much fluid going to the tissues. You just want to take off your shirt and flex in the mirror for as long as it lasts, which is a couple hours. If that's the way you're feeling, stop there, because what's going to happen is if you continue to reload and continue to eat those high carbohydrate foods, especially the simple foods, you're going to do what bodybuilders call spillover. So if you can imagine, this is like your muscle. Right now it's flat because there's only a little bit of water in it because you've been low carbing all these days. Then you start filling up, remember the byproduct is water, you start filling up the tissue on this last day. You want to feel like swollen. Like if this was full with water, it'd be like you've got swollen muscles, you're reloaded, you're ready to go on this day because you're strong as a freaking ox and you just want to lift heavy weights. But if you get to the top there and you're feeling great and then you continue to eat too much carbohydrates, you'll spill over. And if that water spills over into the subcutaneous, basically into your fat, your skin, right under your skin, then you'll be pissed off at yourself because on Monday you're going to feel like a fat slob. I'd much rather you feel lean and pumped on Monday than a fat slob. Okay, great. I hope that was helpful for you guys. I don't know, this is probably like a half-an-hour video. But anyway, I hope it's helpful for you. If you're watching this on YouTube, give me a comment down below and let me know how it works for you if you try it out. And also keep a lookout because the second video in this series is going to explain the workouts associated with these meal plans and how they create that type 3 muscle fiber or hybrid tissue that I described that really gets you to burn fat and build muscle at the same time. It's all about mitochondrial density. I'll tell you about that next time. Talk to you later.